Okay, let's just get right into it. In the next 5 minutes, we're completely stripping away all those glamorous magazine cover myths about business leadership. Instead, we're plunging straight into the gritty, unfiltered reality of building and honestly just saving a company. Today, we're extracting the absolute core lessons from Ben Horowitz's brutally honest survival guide, The Hard Thing About Hard Things. We aren't talking about perfect best-case scenarios today, folks. We are talking about sheer survival. Right off the bat, I want to put you directly in the hot seat. Just imagine you're the founder. Should you fire a loyal employee who's just no longer fit for the role? I mean, this person literally helped build your dream from day one, but now the company has totally outgrown them. What do you do?
And wow, the tension only escalates from there. Should you lay off staff just to save the business? We're not just looking at numbers on a spreadsheet here. We're talking about the kind of leadership that requires you to look people dead in the eye and sever their livelihoods simply to ensure the company doesn't go under.
And while you're agonizing over these impossible choices, how exactly do you act confident when you are absolutely terrified inside? How do you project strength and certainty to your team when, internally, it feels like the whole world is collapsing around you?
Section 1. Welcome to the struggle. So this is the absolute darkest phase of company building. This is where we completely shatter the myth of the flawless, visionary CEO. The struggle is when those clean, textbook solutions just vanish, poof. You feel utterly isolated, bearing this massive weight of the entire company. And the crazy part? No one else, not your board, not your closest friends, can truly understand the immense pressure you're under.
Section 2. Making the painful choices.
This right here is the brutal reality of execution. Delaying a painful restructuring out of guilt, that's just going to severely damage the entire company down the line. Because the reality is, every single option hurts. Leadership in a true crisis isn't about finding some perfect, painless answer. It's about choosing between two devastating options. The really hard thing isn't knowing what to do in a perfect situation. It's making a call when there's literally no easy answer.
Section 3. Peacetime versus Wartime CEO.
To actually survive that kind of pressure, you need a completely different mindset. Think of this as your ultimate survival toolkit for navigating corporate chaos. Let's contrast these two modes, right? A peacetime CEO operates when things are stable. They can focus on culture, building consensus, and long-term team development. But when revenue suddenly collapses, competitors attack, and survival is on the line, bam, you are a wartime CEO. You absolutely cannot run your company like it's in calm mode. Wartime requires raw speed, intense clarity over consensus, and incredibly fast, tough decisions where survival is literally your only priority.
Section 4. Functioning through the fear.
But, how do you actually execute those wartime decisions without completely breaking down? You're facing this crushing list of internal terrors: fear of failure, fear of losing money, fear of letting your employees down, fear of public embarrassment. The truth that the source material reveals is pretty shocking. Fearless leaders? They simply do not exist. Every single founder, even the greatest ones we idolize, battles this profound, overwhelming doubt right there in the trenches. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this stark realization. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's functioning through it. True leadership isn't about somehow magically turning off your emotions. It's about continuing to make those agonizing decisions, continuing to communicate, and continuing to move forward, even when you feel absolutely terrible on the inside.
Section 5. Execution over empty inspiration.
All right, let's ground ourselves for a second. We've talked a lot about the emotional highs and the pure chaos of crisis, but now we got to pivot to the unglamorous discipline mechanics required to actually scale and survive. Because guess what? Passion alone doesn't save a company. Discipline does. This means setting rigid structure and crystal clear expectations. It means defining strict accountability. And yeah, handling underperformance head on. Founders always love the brilliant ideas and visionary products, but without these basic, unglamorous management tasks, without properly training and placing your people, the whole thing will fatally collapse under pressure.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today and leaves us with one incredibly provocative challenge to think about. When the storm hits and there are absolutely no textbook answers left, what kind of leader will you be? Are you going to avoid the pain, or will you actually function through the fear? I'm going to let that heavy reality set in for a moment. Thanks for diving into this with me today.